Tyler's been here for
10 years.
Yeah, oh my God, a decade. Because he's American like us. Does he think in Celsius or Fahrenheit?
I think in Fahrenheit still. Unfortunately, I understand Celsius. You can tell me what it is, but my brain does not function in Celsius. No.
But if we say like it's 18 degrees out Celsius, you kind of know like whether to wear a jacket or.
Exactly. I'll say like, oh, that's almost 65, I think.
Okay.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
I have to convert it in my head.
That's pretty good. Meters versus feet.
No different. I mean, I can conceptualize it. Just like feet, I don't really know how many 6 feet is, but if you say 6 feet, I get it. 6 meters, I get it. 6 meters are 18 feet.
Yeah, 6 meters is a lot more.
Old habits die hard.
I mean, Americans, we're so weird and different. Anyway, we're heading to brunch, and I think we actually got here just now, so perfect timing.
Late night whispers in the dark, touch my skin but miss the mark. Silent sighs we share a bed, words you say stay in my head.
Now we're in Belém, which is part of Lisbon, but it's probably on the far west side of the city. We're in front of the Torre de Belém, or the Tower of Belém, which is a 15th century tower that was built here at the entrance of the Tagus River to protect Lisbon and obviously all the goods and everything they brought in from the New World. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. We're going to check this out. We're going to check out the Monument of Discoveries, and then also the Monastery of the Jerónimos is a World Heritage Site as well. So let's check it out.
And also Belém. Am I saying it right? Belém.
You're supposed to not pronounce the M. So Belém.
Belém. So Belém means Bethlehem. So similar to in Spanish as Belén.
Yeah. We're approaching the tower, and you're going to see there's a really long line or queue for our British followers. Basically, it's really not worth going in. You get a really beautiful view of it from here. You can take pictures. Inside, you really get to walk around, and there's some viewpoints there which are nice, but it's really not worth waiting in the line. So I don't recommend it.
I feel like usually when there are places like this, the idea is to get the view with the tower, not to be in the tower with a view, because you don't get the view of the tower.
Just something that's unique about Belém is that a lot of the buildings we're going to see have this manuelin architecture, which is during the Renaissance time in Portugal, but it's very distinctly a Portuguese style of architecture that was made by a king, Manuel. Surprise there.
You hold me close yet feel so far. Different beats, same broken heart. Trying to find a way to show.
Now we're at the Monument of the Discoveries. It's a very controversial monument here in Portugal because it's celebrating colonialism. The Portuguese will frame that as discoveries, the age of discoveries, and you can interpret that as you will because I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. It's a monument to basically the Portuguese navigators, to those who founded the New World. At the front of it, you'll see Prince Henry, the navigator. He's probably the most famous. He really used the compass and leveraged that to travel around the world. And then also Vasco da Gama's on there, the royal family's on there too, the ones that sent them out. But all the boats that went to discover the New World, they would pass through here. So that's why this is here. And then you also see in front of it, there's a big compass, because the compass is obviously really important, and Portuguese were really good at using it. But you also see a world map where it'll show you all the colonies that the Portuguese landed in and what year they got there. So it is a cool sight to see. You can also go to the top as well, which I've never done, but it could be cool for the views.
How love's supposed to truly grow. Speak my love, hear my soul. In whispers deep, I bear it whole. Your touch.
Now we're heading downstairs because this tunnel looks like it crosses the main road. Can't really cross it from above ground because there's the commuter rail that goes across it. This little Easter egg up top, you can actually read the characters and it says something.
So now we're heading to the Monastery of the Jerónimos, which is a very important monastery, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. There was something here since the end of the 1400s, and it was very important because these monks who were part of the Order of Christ, which were the Knights Templar, so Prince Henry, for example, we just talked about, he was part of that. They all would come here, be the ones to kind of bless them off on their voyage, and it was very famous that Vasco da Gama prayed here the night before he left and discovered India. Vasco da Gama is buried here. Fernando Pessoa, who's a poet, is also buried here in this monastery. And the fun fact is that for the Pastéis de Nata, the pastries, the monks here were the ones that started making them. And a lot of pastries in Portuguese history derive from the fact that they used egg whites as starch for their clothes. They always had a lot of leftover egg whites. That's why there's a lot of egg-based custards and pastries here in Lisbon, in Portugal, because of that. So they started making the Pastéis de Belém, I'm pretty sure in the 1800s. but then they pass the recipe on to a certain family, and now they have that certain recipe locked in with key, basically, and only 3 people know it, technically. I don't know if that's good marketing or not, but that's the story. So you only can get the Pastel de Belém only in Belém.
And I'm excited to try it and compare it with what we had yesterday, because yesterday was really delicious, but we'll be keen to see if it looks different or tastes different.
For the monastery, there's 2 sides of it. You can go enter the church on the right-hand side for free. You also can pay, I don't know how much it is, 7 euros? It could be around there, to enter the full monastery and see the cloister, which is really pretty. There probably will be a line, but the right-hand side, with the church basically, where you can see Vasco da Gama's tomb, is free.
Place looks huge, so I can imagine if you did go in and want to explore the whole thing, you'd probably want to give yourself quite a bit of time. Worth mentioning how we got here. We took an Uber from the city. It was about 10 euros. What other option do you have to get out here?
You can take the metro to Caixa de Sodré, which is the main big station in the center of Lisbon. And you can take the commuter rail here. There's trains that leave every half an hour. It will take like 15 minutes. So now we're heading to probably Lisbon's most popular and famous destination, which is the Pastéis de Belém, the original place where the Pastel de Nata, which the whole world loves, comes from. A lot of people wait in line outside of it for the takeaway, but there's always typically a longer line there. The trick is to go wait in the line to sit down. I recommend it. You can go sit down. It's huge inside, really nice. There's air conditioning. You can sit down. You can order your pastéis de nata. There's also other pastries that you could try if you just want to try something different. I would definitely recommend sitting down inside, and it's a better wait and a better experience. It's 2 counters. There's one here. There's one on the other side. You see in the middle, there's a table service. That's where you want to go. There's no line right now, so let's check it out.
Little bit of a queue, but that's fine. I'm not even that hungry right now, so yeah. Kyler's hungry. How much? That was one sandwich.
It's like $3.50, I think. €3.50. Tuna with hard-boiled egg.
And then, of course, we got the pastéis de nata, $1.40 each. Chantal got an orange juice, and then I got my sparkling water. All right, we're gonna give it a try. Again, it's supposed to taste different than last time.
Only place in the world you can have this type of pastel de nata.
Kyler's still eating a sandwich, so. Wow.
It's a nice crust.
Much flakier. Yeah. You know what it tastes like? The crust tastes like cassava chips. I like it. I think I like this one better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's less sweet.
We just took a 25-minute boat ride from Belém to Cascais. And Cascais is basically the end. They call it like the side of the river the Portuguese Riviera. So coming all the way out into the ocean, there's all beach towns, and this is like the last one and probably the most famous. It's quite posh, I would say. Cascais is famous for being a place where richer people live. And actually the Spanish noble family, royal family, when they were exiled in the dictatorship in the 30s, lived here for a while. Jeff Bezos was here from Amazon last year on his yacht, like that kind of vibe. But I would say it's really worth visiting. It's a really beautiful little town. And it's accessible for people with different budgets as well. You can, go here to eat. It's not like you're going to be excluded. There's also a beautiful beach called Guincho Beach, which is probably 10, 20 minutes away from here. You can go spend the day there as well. So definitely come check out Cascais. It's worth it.
And that McDonald's proves to you that it's budget friendly.
So there's Santini ice cream. It's good, very popular. I knew of it because of the Spanish royal family, used to go there a lot, and they have their pictures inside.
It's so interesting to come here because it's like such a different vibe than Lisboa. I honestly feel like it's more like a Rio kind of vibe. Even with the pavement having those wavy, iconic pattern that I see all across Rio when we were there.
Yearning hearts that seldom meet, dancing shadows on the wall, echoes of a lover's call, chasing dreams we'll never find, bound by love that's undefined. Speak my love, hear my soul, in whispers deep I bury home. Your touch, it's warm but leaves me cold.
We've walked through like the corridors where there were shops and souvenirs and restaurants, walked along the water where we were watching some football next to the beach, and then we cut across the fort, went to a bougie little shopping mall area, and now where are we going?
We're just gonna walk. It's kind of like not like a cliff walk, but it's a nice little path.
Oh.
It's gonna have a lot of views of the ocean, and we're just gonna enjoy the nice weather and the views.
And thankfully we're walking because, my gosh, there's a lot of traffic. Now that you said cliff walk, I was thinking Newport, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Like it does look like it with these houses and freaking castles.
Yeah.
10-15 minutes, and I thought it was just gonna be emptiness all along the water, but no, there's this rest stop area or something with a bunch of restaurants, and apparently there's a lookout.
Inferno.
Du Boca do Inferno. So that's the mouth of hell, and it is very scary because it's a pretty steep drop.
In different tongues, our stories told.
We're in a place called Jardim dos Frangos. It's right near the train station in Cascais, and I would say it's one of the few authentic Portuguese restaurants here in Cascais. It's a typical churrascaria, so they have chicken and other fried things. We got some chicken, which is like the specialty here, but they have like steaks and other meats and seafood as well. So I definitely recommend it. It's affordable. The only thing is you have to pay in cash. There's an ATM next door, so just make sure you have that in mind.
And this frango looks bomb. It smells amazing, and this is a half chicken portion. Chantal's got something coming out.
She has a bitoque coming up, which is a typical Portuguese steak with a bitoque sauce, a special sauce they put, with an egg on top.
I forgot to mention this. I don't think I've mentioned this at all, but the sun does not set till like 9 p.m. here, and it's unusual for us because like right now it's really bright out, but it's 8:40 p.m. But normally on the winter period it gets cold. I mean, not cold, it gets
The sun will
darker
set, yeah.
like normal.
If I finish work at like 5:30, the sun will already be set. It'll be dark by then.
So
Or
weird
getting
that
dark.
happens. I like having sun this late, but then you feel tired even though it's bright out, which is weird. This is our final half day. We actually leave in like a few hours to the airport to go back to the US. Or not back, to go to the US. We don't go back to the US, we live in Singapore. There's one final thing we haven't eaten yet, and we need to, which is Bifana. It's basically like a pork steak sandwich with Portuguese bread. Kyler gave us a couple recommended spots. One of them takes cash only, which unfortunately I didn't bring my ATM card, so we're gonna be going to the other one instead. But the one that does take cash only is really popular, he said, and I think it's called Bifana do Alonso. So that one, I guess, if you are around, you should try it, but just make sure you have cash. Yeah, it's about a 20-minute walk from his place for the Bifana, so that's where we're walking now, and as we're walking, we're reflecting on what our thoughts are on Lisboa.
It's such a great place. Like, it's such a different experience because we didn't really plan any sites, so it was a really good way to explore the city from a local's perspective.
What was your favorite though? Like, do you have anything in particular you really like about Lisboa?
How much walking we did and how many things we got to see for free.
Yeah, we didn't really pay admission for anything. I think the city, like most European cities, just feel like a museum. Like the architecture, the food was good. I actually do like Pastel de Nata. I thought it would be too sweet, to be honest. Of course, the last day we're here, the sun is like perfectly beaming down on us, whereas the other 2 days it was like overcast. But you know what, that's okay. We're gonna embrace the last few hours we have here and enjoy ourselves at Bifana. Let's do it. It's soft. Didn't expect it to be that soft. 2 sandwiches, 2 drinks. It was 16.5 euros, which that sounds expensive. But that's okay, we use cards, so it's whatever. We're now in a square that looks popular, so we're just gonna go wander around a little bit before we head back. When Kyler was walking us everywhere the first day, we had no sense of direction. But now we know exactly where we are because we've been here before. We have the arch thing in the back. We've got the elevator of something, and then the church at the top. So don't remember the names of any of it, but yes, we've been here before.
We stopped by for dessert. We're gonna try another Portugese egg tart.
But it's $1.30 each, so we got a 4-pack. So the other place that Kyler took us to is just a block away. All I remember is yesterday's at Belém was my favorite. Yeah, you too?
I agree.
And here is the elevator of something where you're gonna see the queue that Kyler said, avoid, it's not worth going up. Go up to the back side of the church and you have the same exact view. So we're starting to make our way back, and we're like, we're not gonna go walk down the same street. So we're on a different side street, but now we have to turn back over, and hills, that's the thing we have to deal with now. So we either have to walk that, take the vernacular, or we'll keep going down one more and figure out where else we can go where the hill's not as steep. So much of Lisbon looks like a movie set, but I actually think we are on a movie set. They've got a bunch of rigs and cameras, people are on a bus, and even this hotel looks not real, but I'm sure it actually is. Or was. It's definitely abandoned. So if you want good food, if you want your exercise,
Beautiful architecture and tiny streets with nice walls.
then this is your spot. Lisbon is a really cool spot.
Lots of important history.
Yeah, a lot we didn't know about the Portuguese. And honestly, it's a fairly affordable city, I think, compared to most European cities. This one's very reasonable in my mind. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we shall see you on the next one.